Hey everybody, welcome to another week of Midlife One-up. My name is Rob.
And I'm Matt.
And long week, long Monday. Both of us are kind of tired today. So this podcast almost didn't happen. But welcome to another week of the Gen X flavored gaming and collectible podcast. I guess that's us.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, known as Midlife One-up. Some of the things we're going to talk about this week: Daredevil Reborn. We're also going to talk about some stuff going on with Final Fantasy XIV online. No surprise there. We're going to talk about the latest Star Wars related news, as well as the latest Bungie related news that has nothing to do with Destiny.
Destiny. What?
No, nothing at all to do with Destiny.
Craziness.
I guess that's where we should start. So this week, Bungie released. That was this week, right?
Yes. Okay. Good enough.
Let's just go with this week.
That was this week, sure.
This week, Bungie dropped a trailer for their new game. First game they've had that's new since the inception of Destiny. Called Marathon, which actually, for anybody who follows Bungie, has been like a labor of love for them from like a long time ago. This actually is a game that they tried once and then died, and then they're bringing it back before it ever actually went anywhere. But it looks like they're very serious about it now. It looks like it's a team-based extraction shooter. That's what they're calling it, which for me basically means it's Overwatch on steroids.
Pretty much, I'm getting that same vibe.
Yeah, I mean, the art style for it, as you can guys see here, is actually pretty amazing. It's kind of like a neo street punk vibe. I hesitate to call it cyberpunk because I haven't actually seen the game and I don't want to piss anyone off because the cyberpunk crowd is like a real thing. But it looks like the premise is that you get extracted from your body at the moment of death and you get put into a shell that looks something like this, and then you are a mercenary. You are something called a runner.
It's crazy. I like it though.
So do I. And this is the trailer for it here. As you can see, pretty neat stuff. Yeah, it looks that way, right?
Yeah, I see.
The end of all things.
Although it does look like the game's gonna have its level of gore, which seems interesting.
Over. My dream. Yours. Now.
A bit more graphic than Bungie put out before, like with Destiny 2 and Halo.
There's a builder aspect to it as well.
Yeah, it looks that way, which is why I originally thought this was going to be like an Overwatch meets Fortnite type of situation. So, I mean, I could be wrong though. Again, this is very early days. They're just going into the alpha. Closed alpha, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot that's not here.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Coming September 23rd of this year. So even though it's in closed alpha, they already have a release date that's kind of impressive.
I like it.
So do I. So yeah, the gameplay on it, I think this definitely is going to be something that a lot of Destiny 2 players are actually going to leave to go play. because the PvP style combat, which looks like what this is, because I don't think this is going to be PvE. I highly doubt this is going to be PvE where you just get together. I mean, they could have it could have a storyline mode or something, kind of like Overwatch 2 has now, but I just don't see that really being the case. Pretty sure this is gonna be just like Fortnite. You just go in, you kick the crap out of somebody, shoot them, survive and extract. So we'll see. I think it looks cool, very cool visual style. Finding enough players to play with to make this fun, because it's a team-based extraction. So I don't know. We'll see if I can find some people so that we can play with them and make them part of our group. So this will be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Man, the visuals are awesome.
They are. They're very awesome. Next thing we're going to talk about is Ryan Gosling. New Star Wars information. Now, this is not from the Star Wars movie. This is from Blade Runner, the newest Blade Runner.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling was great in that movie. Latest news, Lucasfilm just released that the new title for the next Star Wars movie, which will be Star Wars Starfighter. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this probably has to do with some of those pilots of the X-Wings and stuff like that, because I think this probably, based off the title alone, I would be surprised if there aren't some Rogue One elements in this, like the Rogue Leader elements in like actually, because the name of in the expanded universe novels, which are not canon anymore supposedly, Rogue Squadron was a thing, and
I really hope they include that. That would be really nice.
Right. So I'm really hoping that this also has something to do with Rogue Squadron, and we talk about X-Wing fighters and stuff like that. Maybe some Force-sensitive X-Wing fighters. I know that under the old management, they were kind of looking to get away from the Force users. I really hope they don't. But supposedly, this movie takes place 5 years after the last movie with Rey, which is Rise of Skywalker. They are saying that it's not a direct sequel to that movie, though. This is a entirely new adventure with a cast of all new characters. And it's supposed to be a standalone movie. So they like to do that standalone movie stuff, which I think is stupid. I think the strength of the Star Wars mythos and universe is sequential storytelling, but that's fine. As we saw in the Rogue One story, because they put out a movie which was one of the best standalone movies they did, but then it didn't become a standalone. I mean, it's supposed to be, because that's the movie of how the plans for the Death Star were found, and how the people that died for the Death Star plans to get to the rebellion, right? So I mean, that was supposed to be a one and done, and
But it was not.
It was not. They put out Andor on Disney Plus, which I was highly skeptical of, and you've been telling me, man, for like how long's it been out? Like 2 years? Like, no, man, you should watch it. You should watch it. You should watch it.
You need to watch it.
Yeah.
Just go freaking watch it.
Yeah. So I did watch season 1. So now season 2 is either released or about to be released, if not already released. So season 2 is a thing. So it's no longer a standalone, because they realized it's a great story, and one of the strengths of the Star Wars universe is storytelling in sequence, which is why The Mandalorian is so successful. Period. So this should be pretty cool. But Ryan Gosling is a great actor. I like him. He's also a pretty actor. So I think this will be a good thing to have in a franchise, a big name. I know that you have something to say about having a big name, because this is an A-list actor. He's like a AAA list actor.
Yeah, let me say, this is breaking a huge rule of George Lucas, who, if you think back all the movies he's done in the past, George Lucas would always cast people that were basically no names. There was no big actors that he cast for anybody, and this goes all the way back to the OG Star Wars. Harrison Ford, nobody. When he was cast for Star Wars: A New Hope, he was nothing. But he went on to become, Harrison freaking Ford. So
Yep.
now we have Ryan Gosling coming into this movie. This is a big rule breaker for him. So we'll see what happens. This could be a great thing that happens, or I don't know. I hope it's great.
I think it will be. I don't think Ryan Gosling can get any bigger than he already is. He is already a huge Star Wars. He's a huge actor, a huge name in Hollywood.
I love Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I watched the Fall Guys.
I,
enjoyed
yeah,
that movie.
I enjoyed Fall Guys too.
It was great.
Yes, that was a great movie.
So those are the most recent.
I also loved him in Barbie. I actually saw Barbie. I thought Barbie was a great movie, believe it or not, and I think he was amazing in Barbie. So
I heard he was really funny in that. I just haven't watched it yet.
yeah, it's not just funny though. The movie does some really cool social commentary. Like when you really get past all the bubblegum pink and the Mattel toy line, it's actually a really cool movie with some really good social commentary. And Ryan Gosling's character is a big part of that. So it's actually really great actor, really great pick. I think if the movie's done well and it's a good piece of writing, because it has to have good writing, it can't just be names and CGI to sell it. That's how we got episodes 1, 2, and 3 with Jar Jar Binks. So yeah, so I think as long as the writing is good, we can be in for a very cool movie that can elevate some really unknown names to some really big stardom. And Ryan Gosling can be a part of that because he can actually be like a big draw to get people to come in, non-Star Wars people to come in and like take a look at it. Which
He's shown and proven to be a very diverse character. He can pretty much do whatever is necessary.
absolutely, and I think it's a great idea. So let's see, next thing, something interesting. And I don't know anything about this. I actually purposely have not read this. Matt brought it up to me a couple days ago, that I stayed away from it because I wanted to read it and like first time react to it. A furnishing design contest for 2025 from Square Enix, for Final Fantasy XIV.
Right, it's you. Right for you.
It really is.
Go for it.
Let's see. Entry requirements. You must possess an active Final Fantasy XIV account, which I do. By submitting an entry, you confirm that you have read and agreed to the terms. So, some interesting like winnings here. The Loperet earring is kind of cool.
I mean, the weddings are cool, but that's not what the best thing about it is.
All right, so let's see. Please be sure. Let's see what the terms and conditions are. Holy shit, there's a lot of terms and conditions. All right. I'm going to have to read that later. That's a lot. So basically, what is this? So are we designing? So am I designing?
Designing a piece of furniture.
Designing a piece of furniture to be loaded into the game.
Front, side, back.
Front, side, and back. And I have to pick a category. I am almost leaning towards the tile set, but that's not a furniture, is it? That's not one of the things we can choose.
That would be awesome.
Oh no, wait! It says here interior wall, flooring, and ceiling light. So yeah, interior materials count.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Interior materials count. I have ideas. Yeah. So I have to design it and send it in. It looks like I gotta include all this information, and it also looks like if it is considered excellent, it may even be included in the game. So I have to come up with a drawing of our interior with the tile set that I want, and it's gonna be now it's only one submission per category.
I'm not 100% on that. Might need to read those terms and conditions, and I need to block off half my day for that apparently.
Yeah, apparently it's Bible. So I will check that out. The prize in and of itself is not really anything huge. I mean, the Great Serpent of Ronka umbrella is cute, whatever. The earrings, that's fine, but if you've ever played the game, you know that those earrings are so small you can barely tell they're there. It's mostly something that you know is there and no one else can really see unless they're like scoping your eye, or they're covered up half the time. Yeah. So this is actually a cool thing, and the ability to be like featured would be cool. Yeah, I can see that there's going to be a lot of entries on this because this is perfect. Not just for people like me who are into interior design and design for the housing, but also into art. But this is actually going to be a huge draw for students that recently graduated from places like the Savannah College of Art and Design and places like that. because if they win this contest, they could definitely put that in their portfolio, and maybe it'll even turn or parlay into a job with some design, video game design terms. Someone in my someone in my age range, not really interested in getting the job, because I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not aiming for that. I kind of just want my name up on the website as like a runner-up or whatever. Like if I can get up to the top, that'd be fine too. But I'm kind of like, just kind of like one up there, and I think I can come up with some pretty cool ideas. So that's awesome. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Next on the docket is Daredevil Born Again, the new series from Disney Plus, which I think we've talked about before. It's kind of amazing.
Kind of is not the right word.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And it is a version of Daredevil that even on Netflix, they kind of didn't really touch on. I mean, on Netflix, they touched on the reality of Daredevil, which is he's a violent anti-hero. Okay? Because, I mean, you have to be violent if you're going to beat the crap out of people, and put the hurt on them. But
he's a street-level hero.
He's a street-level hero, yeah. And his superpower is, like, it's a cool power, but it's not something that's going to give him an advantage. He doesn't have a healing factor. Oh, yeah.
He gets hurt, he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's not like gonna, like, super heal. He's like, okay, I need to go to the hospital now.
Yeah.
So he avoids the hurt if he can, which he
Yeah.
doesn't all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, which I don't know if this is actually still canon, but like the Kingpin in the Marvel Universe during the 90s and early 2000s and 80s, Kingpin was classified as a mutant. So
Correct. That's correct.
The Kingpin is not a normal individual, and he's not big because he's fat. He's big because that's muscle, kind of like a manatee. If anyone's ever seen a manatee, they just look like big lumps of lard, but they're not. That's all muscle and bone, and that's pretty much what the Kingpin is. Just like one big, walking lump.
Yeah.
You heard me correct myself, right?
Yeah,
One big walking lump of muscle and bone. But anyway, so when the Kingpin comes after you and he puts his big, like, meaty, ginormous hands on you, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it a lot. And him and Daredevil have gone round and round quite a few times.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and in this series, no exception. The comics have always been Daredevil. The Daredevil comics have always been like a very dark and gritty experience. I always likened it to being like Batman without the kid gloves. So
Very good analogy. I like that.
yeah, because Batman is also a street level hero. He's also very normal, but he's a rich guy who's got a lot of like body armor and techs and gadgets. So he can afford to have that high and mighty credo of never kill anybody and don't use a gun, right?
Correct.
Daredevil's not like that. He's not a rich dude, not a rich kid, doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles.
You see the line of the cast members down there, right? You see a certain somebody, right? No, go back, right there.
Yeah, Frank Castle, yeah, the Punisher. Listen, it's very hard to talk about this series without doing spoilers. So the only thing I'm gonna say, Matt can say whatever he wants, but the only thing I'm gonna say is do yourselves a favor. If you haven't watched the series, just sit down and watch it. Just watch the first episode. If you're not hooked, you might want to check your pulse. That is
The first 7 minutes of the first episode.
yeah.
Good grief. Okay? If you shut it up after that, then whatever. But
Yeah.
watch it. Anyway.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna say, because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, is the finale came out for season 1.
Which I haven't watched yet, so no spoilers. I haven't watched yet.
Relax, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
But there is an end credit scene. Make sure you watch it. It's sort of important, and it ends with a bang. It's great.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, anyway, guys, go watch it. Matt's endorsement is actually underselling it, and I think that's like the most passionate I've ever heard Matt like recommend anything. But it's still underselling it because it is an amazing show. When
I'm only underselling it because I'm afraid of spoiling it.
yeah,
That's the only reason. So
Yeah.
I'm being super careful because I don't want anyone to lose that first, when they're watching it, the wow factor. I don't
Yeah.
take any of that away.
Yeah.
So,
if you ever saw the original series, the original Daredevil season 1 on Netflix, that was an amazing season. In my book, the best Daredevil season before this one came out. Like before Born Again came out, I would have always told people season 1 Daredevil is best. That's best. Watch it and you don't need to watch anything else. You can leave it right there. It's a great season.
I agree with that. 100%.
But Daredevil Born Again, no, that's... Now you have to go back and watch the crappy seasons so that you can get a real appreciation for all the characters. Because Daredevil Born Again, yeah, it's really good.
Probably skip 3. You could probably skip season 3.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Although we do get a lot of Foggy in season 3. But anyway, just enjoy it. It's a really great show. That's all we have to say. But the last thing I think that we're going to talk about is a public service announcement from Matt concerning everyone's favorite canine buddies. If you have a fur baby. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away, Matt.
Alright. I originally was going to do this with some cussing, but I'm choosing to do this not, because I feel that I could probably get this service announcement out with kind words. So that's the way I'm going to go. I wanted to remind everybody that when you take your dog out for a walk, put a freaking collar and a leash on him. Okay? Especially if you have a white pit bull living down the road for me. You know who you are, and I don't like you.
There's a reason for that. There really is. Okay? It's not just random hate for dogs. Matt loves dogs. He loves dogs. However, he has a autistic child, and that child is deathly afraid of canines. Okay? And an incident occurred where his son was fleeing for his life, and that's not very cool. And it all just boils down to negligence by an irresponsible pet owner. I get that we all love our animals, our pets. They are our companions and our best friends. And sometimes we just let them out without a leash. I don't, because there's a leash law in Florida, and I don't feel like having someone just pick up my dog and randomly destroy it because I wasn't paying attention to the leash law. But I have seen people do it because they think, well, it's right here. It's right here in the front. It's in front of the house, or it's in the back of the house. It's right here. It's no big deal. My dog is nice. It's not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't bite. It's a freaking pit bull, dude. It's white. It's big. I don't like it. Make it go away.
Yeah. And all I will say is, as a example, I have a corgi. My corgi is the most social animal on the planet. Most corgis, all corgis are. It's kind of like a trait of the breed. They live to serve and please. So she is always very friendly with everyone's dog. And there was a dog of my neighbor. That dog's name is Bella. It looks like it's a cross between a German Shepherd and like a Mastiff or something. It's a big dog. Now, for whatever reason, my dog and this dog were very friendly with one another. They would say hi. They would sniff each other's dog butts, as dogs do. And it was a friendly relationship. And one day, this dog, for no reason that anyone could discern, decided that it had had enough of my dog. When the only thing my dog did was what it had always done, what it had been doing for months, which is walking up to this dog and to this dog's owner just to say hi. On this day, that dog attacked my dog and clamped down on my dog and viciously attacked my dog. Meanwhile, the owner of that dog was flabbergasted, mouth open. I don't know what happened. She never attacks anyone. She's so friendly. I don't understand. Here's the thing. Big dog breeds, little dog breeds. It doesn't matter. dog breeds like the one that Matt's talking about and the one that attacked my dog, they're just more predisposed to a level of aggression when they're feeling protective. Okay? Smaller dogs tend to be a little more hesitant because they're smaller, unless they're a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas think they're lions, but that's because Chihuahuas.
Little big dog syndrome.
Yeah, Chihuahuas all think they're a lion. They think they're 7 feet tall and 19 feet long, and they have canines the size of like butcher knives. So, but that's that's the breed. But the thing is, my corgi has a bad day and it attacks. You're looking at minor wounds, maybe a busted up ankle, no big deal. A few stitches, and you can actually like kick my dog and hurt it really badly in self-defense. Okay. Big dog, like the kind Matt's talking about, and the kind I'm talking about that attacked my dog. When those dogs have a bad day, the damage is way more significant. If they grab you in the wrong place, it can lead to maiming, disfigurement, some cases death. These are very strong, very powerful animals, and they don't mess around when they're having a bad day. Okay? So, if you are the owner of one of these dogs, I know that there's a lot of owners of like pit bulls and mastiffs, and your baby is very precious to you and it's a sweetheart. That's fine. Put it on a leash when you take it out. Put it on a leash. Because I guarantee you, what would have happened if Matt had put his hands on that dog was nothing good. Matt would have tried his hardest to kill that dog, maybe succeeded, but not before Matt was horribly hurt too. Okay? And that would be all in defense of his progeny, his son, which is completely understandable. And if that dog had survived, it would have been destroyed by the county and the state, because any dog that attacks a human is up for destruction. So protect your dog, protect your neighbors, and put a leash on your dog. Just put a leash on it. You don't like it? I'm sorry. Put a leash on it. Just avoid the whole problem. Okay? That's it. That's the end of the public service announcement. And I think with that, we're done for the week. What do you think, bud?
I think I had covered everything we wanted to talk about. Yep.
Very cool. All right, so